Do shit. Looking at the what's that called? The moon. The moon. Looking at its moon cycles. It's the what do they call that? The waxing. It's in its wax phase. Oh my god. I don't even know why I come on basically on the internet, now, just to learn a couple of some videos for the most part, dude. It's about I'd say there's a handful of people that even know anything, and nobody goes really live. Like like I think Jay Dyer is good for his um, um, technocracy breakdown. The powers that be and whatnot, but his Christian is not good. His Christian, to be honest with you, I'm the only person that knows Christianity on here. Maybe in one other girl, she naturally has the grace. She naturally has a spirit. I gotta find her, but she's about the only one. Other than that, man, these people they don't see. I take this shit serious, which means I study the word. I don't just take the Bible out and read it. I read what scholars how they interpret the book. Okay? So, hey, I got some viewers. How's everybody doing? I'm not doing a Christian breakdown. I wasn't, even though I can. I will bring that much later. What's up, my guy? Nice to see you, man. Great videos. Great videos. Hot retarded chicks. My man. And so like I said, catching up with the last truther. So like I was saying, so I get in heated debates because I study Christianity, and which means like I study from scholars. I don't just pick up the book and tell you what I feel. Um, it's good, and so I break down the mechanics. And maybe one day I won't. I'll bring you some ministry stuff. And if you really want to know who's the person, if you want to study it under, you check out Jacques Ellul. He's the one. He's the main guy. He's where the Unabomber got all of his ideas. And because when society reaches the point where we're at, you know what I mean? Technocracy. See, science and science fiction are the same fucking thing. So that's why you could watch Gattaca and they're telling you what the future's going to be like. But it goes over the profane or the masses' heads. They don't. Or another one, an old school one, is Brave New World. So that tells you about the positive and negative eugenics aspect of what's to come, because they understand all. He couldn't write the code. What code was this? I want another code. Couldn't write the code. Like I said, one day I was checking out the Unabomber and they were talking about how he was inspired by the same person I'm inspired by. So I was like, what the fuck? To be honest, I don't even know if the Unabomber even fucking lived or not. It might be all a fucking psyop because these motherfuckers, the government, like, and that's another thing about the government. I digress. They fucking see all these angles. You know what I'm saying? But go write the code. That's the joke. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the sharpest tool. That's why I read. I don't. Hey, all right. Sorry about that. I'm outside, a little bit far from the Wi-Fi. So I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Excuse me. I got to really write some things down. But it's nice to see a couple of you guys onto my work, because pretty much I give a lot of people a lot of my information. I've given a lot of people my information, and I could start with the deep state. The deep state is the secret police, the KGB, that got infiltrated with technocracy. And technocracy is the big Nabrinsky. They control the media, and then the Trilateral Commission, blah blah blah. And like I said, control society through culture, your movies or your music, the culture, and they pretty much understand all science. They understand women. So, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that for the prayer. Needed them, need them. As far as everything goes, like I said, a couple of you guys, you guys know what's going on, but you know what I mean? Maybe I'll begin to do mechanics. So when I'll do a mechanic video about the science of praying, because praying is basically for hope. That's what, and to be delivered from your situation. That's what praying is. And it's to deliver you, and it's really based on hope. And I was listening to these guys talk the other day about when to pray. If you feel it in your heart to pray, pray. But shit, like I said, I'm on a new thing, and I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? I when I had my woman, I was, I became a born again. But even Jesus was forsaken. That's why he says, God, why you have forsaken me. So, I mean, he was a man, and so we all got to go through this roughness. But I don't want to get distracted on that. But I'm not going to get too deep about Cain and how Cain had to leave. He became the wanderer, and the wanderer, some say it's the sign of the swastika, and that's really Cain walking in the wilderness. Or some people say it's a fan going this way or that way. But anyway, getting back to this thing, it really depends on my audience, what kind of video I'm going to bring, because, like a lot of people are so into their groups. The black people are stuck in black power groups, or they were they were the Moors. They were these people. So all this is really a religion. You know what I mean? They have their own religions. Everybody has their own religion. And then, of course, it's a lot going on, guys. It's a lot fucking going on. So I kind of like at a loss of words. So guess I'm just fucking hollering. So chit chat with me up. But like I said, I was studying the Moors. And when you study the Moors, they're the ones who made slavery. And it's funny, the Illuminati cards has a Mason or a dude with a fez on. And it's like, sometimes those Illuminati cards, pretty fucking funny. Starting to think, the 21st century, 2021, 2001, Space Odyssey of 2001. I'm starting to think that these motherfuckers move in some type of time. But so science fiction is the new religion, and it always has been. You just never really knew that science fiction is eugenics. And what is eugenics? Just efficiency. And then it's really nothing new underneath the sun on how people create, a nation or something. Alan Watt, if I could find, I got to post up the video, and that's not with an S, that's with just a W-A-T-T. He's the master in all this. God, R.I.P. to my guy. So anytime you hear everybody tells you about the deep state, technocracy, it goes back to him, and they're really just mirror. You can't reinvent the wheel, guys. I'm sorry. Just like Christ already laid out the work is already laid out. It's just that are you going to check into it, And like I said, I come to bring the gospel, and the gospel is just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a white pill or a black pill, you know what I'm saying? So, for the most part, I know all this information, and I'm pretty sure that, like I said, we'll talk about it later on about Arthur C. Clarke. You know what I mean? He's this guy, the Fabian. I'll just let you know everything if you want to know. This is the Fabian Society. So the British, they created the NGO called the Fabian Society. And so it's like all these groups are really controlled. They have these green, so the global warming is the big topic now. So, the Chatham House, check out the Chatham House. The Chatham House is their think tank organization. So if you want to go, who is the powers that be? The Chatham House. And they have their own YouTube channel, so you can check it out. It's boring, you know what I'm saying? But you have to decipher they're telling you their revolutions they're starting, the green agenda, and that this is nothing new underneath the sun, So Patrick M. Woods has a good video about technocracy. And so I'm not going to take credit for this being my work, because like I said, I'm going to give you the authors. I'm going to give you guys, I'm not going to feed you fish. I'm going to give you the information so you could go feed yourself. Okay? And that's the gospel. A lot of people, they don't give up their information. And so, so we'll get some more talks. You want merchandise? What do you mean? We're returning. I can't comment frequently. That's fine, brother. That's fine. You said so. Give you fish. You said give you fish. I have no problem with giving you fish. Like I said, if you're into the power structure and what's going on, always go to Alan Watt. His Cutting Through the Matrix. And there's a couple other guys, and I'm not going to give anybody else that crown of truth tellers, because to be a teacher, you have to come with the truth. For the most part, I'm sitting in the dark, but that's good. I ain't that good looking anyway. For the most part, you know how this game goes. People are like kitty, they like eye candy for the most part, and then confirmation bias. But that's never been my thing, guys. So, like I said, Julian Huxley, he's the one that created UNESCO. UNESCO controls the education for the future, and basically education means propaganda. Basically, education means indoctrination. Even because, listen, even Jesus had a trade. School doesn't give you a trade. They give you an education, a belief system to their worldview of society. So that's why it's like, if you look at the Mexicans, they have a trade because they're not indoctrinated. So the meek do inherit the earth. And it depends on how you look at these things. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new underneath the sun. And if you want to understand the Bible, read. If you want to understand that, I keep telling you, the Bible, God is a living God. That means it's not dead. It's not the past. It's present. Just like, Christmas coming up. So, where am I at? Drinking some beer. Anyway, don't need to know about that. So, I'm just out here. Maybe I'll come and do some more videos on this about, Julian Huxley. Like I said, he's the one that created the term transhumanism. And that's where we're going. Like I was saying about the book of Hosea, it tells you nothing new is underneath the sun. Man is of sin. So man believes into the God of the city. God is love. But when we just worship, when we get caught up into society, we worship society, and that's okay. That's why Philly, the city Philly, is a city of brotherly love. Philly is a city of brotherly love, and the brotherly love they're talking about is Cain and Abel. That's the kind of love they're talking about. So when we start talking about cities, Rome is a city. Cities have their own shit. Like I said, I didn't know I was going to get into to breaking down the meaning of a city. Get the book. Jacques Ellul. There's a book called The Meaning of a City from the biblical standpoint. Do you want to be a fucking scholar? There's a difference in being a historian and a scholar. Okay, a scholar knows the occult. Okay, I could give you a cult. You know what I'm saying? So right. So the snake in the garden is really science. And let me just give you a fast. So that snake is science. And science will begin to create these fertility clinics because as people get more and more injected, which is a form of negative eugenics that Julian Huxley wrote in Humanitarian, right? What's humanitarian? Margaret Sanger, when she brought out birth control and making it popular to where they use, where women are now using birth control, where women are using abortion as a form of contraceptive. Okay, so so people are disposable, everything's disposable, we treat people indisposable, so we really are fallen. And in a way, now it could just be that I'm just on the end of the stick, but like Jesus said, you won't always have me, but you will have the poor. That shit, like I said. So anyway, going back to transhumanism and negative eugenics is where you kill everybody off. Positive eugenics is like the movie Brave New World, or where they breed the type of human they want. That's positive eugenics. Negative eugenics is where they just sterilize the ones. So that's going to be over soon. I don't know if you know about clocks, but if you put enough clocks in the room, the ones that go tick-tock, they'll eventually tick-tock the same time. So back into this information. There's all kind of movies about these predictive programmings or the future to come, because you alter the environment through music, television, and monkey see, monkey do. I mean, there's all kind of psychiatrists. Like if you go back if you look at Hispanic women, used to have 5 children each. But once they started putting it how it was an embarrassment to have a child at a young age, the women mimic what they see. So they called their number down on how many children they had because it was so taboo. Before it wasn't, but they put the television in their environment, and it alters your environment. Television alters your environment. So behavioral and all kind of shenanigans. But going back to transhumanism, and the Huxleys are really Darwinianists. This is all evolution. See what evolution is. You don't want to know what evolution is? Evolution means you are basically the manure of the elite. So that's why they have all these people. They got, like, if you look in Gattaca, it was like people going to space. Well, why is that? And so these are all science fiction novels that have now becoming science. So science with an agenda. So basically I want to let y'all know it's still a real truther out here. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I'm gonna tell you everything. Me, myself, I'm what you call a Christian anarchist. Okay? And so don't know what that fucking means, but that's the book I'm reading. This is gold. I'm going to need to rewatch this a few times. Yeah, well, I haven't told anything yet. I'm really just ranting. And the thing is, I'll give you information if you want information to set you fucking free. If you really want, and I'll give you what I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna bore you to death, and I will. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm a little away, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. And I appreciate you guys chilling with me, vibing out with me, drinking a little Black Label and some Michelob. Remember, I showed you that scripture, my man. I told you, in the time of need, the Bible said you got to give certain people hard liquor and then wine. So not, you know what I'm saying? Even the priests, that's how they roll sometimes, man, because That's and I'll give you the scriptures later, and I'll dissect the book later when it comes to the Christian mechanics. I'll break that down to you so you guys maybe can have a different esoteric knowledge in it. So we were talking about transhumanism, science fiction, and remember Julian Huxley is the one who created, and they're all Darwinianists. Another book is Arthur C. Clarke and everything, and we'll talk about politics if you guys ever want to know that, go down that rabbit hole, down on what the left is and really what is the right. Remember, the left is really all communism is conformity. So anarchy, from Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper, his definition is anarchy is all the way to the right next to libertarian, and the middle is um, capitalism, and whatnot. Yeah, so break all this stuff down. It was a pleasure rocking with you guys. Love you. Peace.
Hello.